Hello and welcome to the Gauntlet community and Star Wars Saturdays. The Gauntlet community is a worldwide group of tabletop role-playing game aficionados, experts, and regular Joes and Janes and other folks who love playing normally small press, but occasionally OSR and even a couple of more conventional or traditional style games. And we are currently playing in Star Wars Saturday, which is the campaign that I've been running. It's an anthology campaign set in the Star Wars universe. Every month is a new story and a different game system. And they're loosely tied together along a timeline of the original trilogy of Star Wars movies. We're sitting somewhere between A New Hope and approaching Empire Strikes Back timeline for overall events. And we're currently playing Hutt Cartel, which is Cartel, written by Mark Diaz Truman, a Powered by the Apocalypse game about narco fiction. Set in Durango, Mexico. So Hutt Cartel, way different. Reskinned it. So the core of what is Cartel has been ported over with my sloppy, ham-fisted style as I just chop some things down and put in Star Warsy words. But at the heart, this is still the Cartel game, which is a pretty wonderful system. I just said, hey, let's set it in the level 1313 in Coruscant, which is deep, deep in the bowels of this city-wide planet, or this planet-wide city, probably a better way to phrase that. Coruscant is the heart of the Empire, where Palpatine is in control. And recently, Palpatine and the Imperial Security Bureau, the ISB, came through, rounded up all of the Hutts who ran the spice cartel and the drug running in the interior of Coruscant, rounded up a number of the Hutts and executed them. Now, of course, the powerful Hutts had already either escaped or were in Hutt space, which is far to the, if you were to look at the galaxy map, it would be to the east. Hutt space, a number of planets controlled by the Hutts for thousands of years. So the spice will flow. And the Hutt Cartel has a number of proxies who continue to do deals and get the drugs that they're able to ship into Coruscant and move it along. One of our proxies is a drug lord who is not a Hutt at all, because it's not a good time to be a Hutt in Coruscant anyway. I mean, really, poor Hutts. So that's the overarching idea behind taking Cartel and reframing it into Star Wars. And that's what we've been playing. This is the third of 3 sessions. So we're going to be bringing everything to a close. It's all on the table. Leave it on the field, guys. Any things that you want to happen, let's make sure that we try to feature that. If there are aspects of this game that intrigue you and you want to see in play, let's find a way to make that happen. We had ended last session heading into a cocktail party, but because of some pre-game discussion, hey, let's have a little bit of time pass. What we're going to do is kind of say that the Pike Syndicate who were coming to the cocktail party after the, sorry, hit my microphone. That's bad podcasting there. Due to the violence for the Happy Bantha getting shot up by some Black Suns and some other nefarious things that had gone on, the Pikes kind of decided to reschedule. They blew you off. They didn't. They're polite enough to have called ahead and say, hey, let's reschedule this a week from now when things have simmered down a bit. But they didn't come to your nice cocktail party. So that awesome gathering vegetables at the local market thing, that conversation is all for naught. Did not pay off with the beautiful cocktail party you liked. So let's do a quick reintroduction of our characters and we'll jump straight into the beginning of session moves because we have a bevy of them. Michael Barford, please tell us about your character.
Absolutely. I am playing Venus Heladas. She is a female Natolan, which means that she's kind of like this cool amphibious sort of Twi'lek sort of look. Kit Fisto, if you're familiar, is a Tolan. She has very intense eyes. She tends to wear dark street clothing, doesn't like to stand out because she is an assassin who works for Arashane, the drug lord. And she is very cold and very sinister, and she's a lot of fun to play.
I agree. She's fun to watch play. Dozer, give us a reminder who you're playing.
Okay. I am playing Imperial Security Bureau agent Rosmer Solari. He grew up in this sector of Coruscant and conned his way into the entrance exam that got him into the Coruscant security forces, and then eventually he worked his way up to being an ISB agent from the graduating from one organization to the other. He also has a brother named Kanan, who is perennially in trouble with in legal trouble. He got deep into debt with Arashane, who we shall meet in a few minutes. And in order to pay off, in order to keep Arasha from permanently collecting on that which he can't cover on his own, Kanan has persuaded Rosmer to start doing favors for the Hutt Cartel. And at the same time, he and Kanan have some vague plans to pull a heist of their own on this crime organization, and we'll see whether or not that actually happens this session. The most salient thing is, one, he's had a very bad, very significant spate of bad luck in the last session, and in the process of in a fight with a speeder gang that was affiliated somehow with or somehow connected to the Pikes, if I remember correctly. He actually got his left arm chopped off, and it's currently replaced. He's just received the cybernetic replacement, and he's also kind of at his wit's end, and he's basically about to spiral into a huge medication, like a huge painkiller addiction, because he's at 5 stress.
Ooh, nice. I really definitely want to see that. Question, and I'm going to give the option to you. Is his cybernetic replacement hand, I imagine it's like forearm up. Is this a thing that's like Luke's cybernetic replacement, where we see regular fingers and it looks completely normal except there's a panel that opens up? Or is it more like the garish, obviously cybernetic hand that he has right now?
Yeah, I think the default would be the prior. That'll be fairly realistic looking, unless you want to call that, because unless you want to rule that that the bureau is particularly has a particularly strange budget. And actually, no, I think it would be the former, so it would look pretty realistic.
Okay, awesome. Totally cool. I mean, if the rebellion can afford it, then we know the Empire can.
Right.
Sounds good. Fantastic. So you've got that. You can open up a little panel in your forearm and play with your servos and all that good stuff. But for all intents and purposes, it looks normal. Thank you. Pavel, please tell us about your character.
I am playing Arashane. She's female to Gruta, and Arasha is Druglord. She's the Druglord. She wears luxurious dresses because she likes to show off. She has a red skin, but her leku and montrals are slightly yellow with black straps. And she runs the plaza. It has a couple of problems like gang wars, some robberies, some mole agents, but it also has a nice little spaceport that makes the plaza very luxurious to have. So she's using that to full advantage. And to keep everything under control, she has her gang trained and running with military gear and military armor. But it didn't help last time when they went against Black Suns. So we will see what's her current position is.
We will see that. And last but not least, Steve, please tell us about your character.
So I'm playing Zoshta, a male Togruta, who is the spouse of the Druglord. He, runs, everything behind the scenes, keeps the grounds kept up, manages the books, doesn't know what all the entries are, but he manages the books. He also runs the Happy Bantha, a cantina that is sort of his pet project, and a gift from Arashane, which is quote unquote her legal business. Serving food, liquor to all these, smugglers and spaceport members. I do have a secret affair with Yana, who is a Umbaran who I met on Tatooine, and has brought along my love child with her. And we're trying to keep that under wraps. Arashane is not exactly happy with some displays of affection from Yana, and we've sort of hidden that, but we'll see how long that lasts. He is a little bit subservient to Arashane, but he's starting to get a little bit of a spine in maturity.
Interesting stuff. I love all of these updates. Thank you guys for reminding us of who you're playing. We've got some start of session moves and between session as well. We're going to hit them all. Let's lead up to the Druglords move and start off with Zoshta. I know that you've got a between sessions thing. Whenever there's a stretch of downtime in play, we're going to say that about a standard week has passed, and the Pikes are now interested in that cocktail party that was abruptly canceled. So that's on the horizon for you.
Okay, so I'm going to roll that move here. And I get an 11. Things are going well. So on a 10 plus, I juggle my responsibilities with grace, and I clear my stress track.
You really do well with this. That's interesting. Like,
and maybe
everybody else is pretty.
Maybe it's because we're not in the Happy Bantha, which seems to be a source of stress, seeing as the my affair, which almost became discovered. She still works there, and despite Arashane firing her at one point,
she just showed back up, but she's still on the payroll. That's great.
She brings in the business. She
does. She's a great dancer. Good. So the Happy Bantha is back open again?
It is back open. Same great menu, same great service.
Running a special on
I think we do have at least one or two bouncers now that Arashane has supplied. She hired some out of gang mercenaries to supply some security. Nice. So we do have, someone, checking for, random, Black Sun members coming in with machine guns. Sorry, blaster carbines.
Cool. Good to know. Good. Let's go to our wonderful Crooked ISB agent. Rosmer, you've got an open session move.
Yes.
And you've got some stress to get rid of as well. So we'll deal with the stress, but let's so we have things set up.
All right. I'm rolling with grit here to see if I get wind of an investigation before things get messy. Let's see how my rolling is this week. And rolling. All right. 8 plus, what's my grit again? 9. Okay, I got a 9.
Ooh, so close. All right. Cool. With a 7 to 9. Sorry. On a hit, you get wind of an investigation before things get messy. Cool. So here is what you hear, and we'll figure out how, kind of context in just a second when we roll back to you. But you get wind of the investigation that Kara tells you that Tanis and Miri have found what they believe. They haven't told Kara the address, but they believe they have found the place where drugs are being cooked and brought together here, which means the Huli is in deep trouble, and all of Arashine's organization could have some significant issues if where they're headed is the right place.
Okay.
Yeah. So that is what you have heard through Kara, but they didn't tell you because they don't trust you.
Did they tell Kara? Does Kara know the exact location, or just that they know that where the location is?
We'll pick that back. We'll pick that up when we roll back around to you. But I just wanted to give that so you had a chance to stew on it. And let's go to Arashine for Plaza.
Yeah, at the beginning of the session, I roll with control. I have control of only one, which comes from my Plaza. Reroll selected. A 9.
Oof, nice.
Which is, on a hit, you get an opportunity to engage one of your troubles, your choice, on your terms. On a 7-9, the opportunity is short-lived and risky. Act quickly, or you may find that you miss your moment. Yeah, I don't think I want to introduce any more complications since we set up this cocktail party. So I suppose maybe Black Suns somehow have engaged the Pikes, and there was like a brutal fight last night, and Pikes have lost a lab or a transport, and I just called them to maybe, guys, it was a week, maybe we should meet and discuss how we are going to deal with the Black Suns. We as Pikes and White Moons. So I hope to catch them while they are still on the defense and still afraid of the Black Suns.
Ah, gotcha. Okay, that sounds good. So that leads right into the cocktail party, and is pretty wonderful. So here are the questions that I have, Arashine. Of course, Zoshta is there, but would you have Venus with you, because she is an excellent person, an excellent Sicario or assassin, or do you have her out kind of ranging around?
Of course, I think I would rather keep Venus close, as I trust her and want to see her thrive. So one can only be assassin for so long. Maybe it's time for her to get promoted to lieutenant, take care of more than just killing stuff. But for that she has to learn some politics. So I would gladly have Venus. Maybe I even bought her more luxurious clothes so that I can have her in a formal party close to me. Is that fine with you?
Oh, that's super cool, because I wanted more scenes with Arasha anyway. So
Good. And I just want to highlight that moment, that the 1-2 punch of Venus saying, "I don't need money, it doesn't matter to me," and then Arashine's congratulations of, "Here you go buy yourself something nice." I love that relationship the two of them have, where Venus appreciates Arashine doesn't know how to appreciate Venus. That's one of my favorite relationships.
she needs to learn my love languages, is what it is.
Love language. That's it. That's definitely it. Cool. So I hate to do this, but I am going to take a quick bio break before we jump into things. So we'll do it less than 5 minutes. I just need a few, but in case anybody else needed a bio break. So we're going to be back in 31 after the hour, so 36 we'll jump in.
Okay. But wait, Richard, have you thought about returning to 4-hour session format? Because I think you used to run 4 hours, but then you switched to like 3 hours.
Yeah, I don't know. I have mixed feelings. Like, if I do that, I should probably cut down the number of days that I'm gaming on the weekends. I've got an every other Friday night thing, then Saturday, and then Sunday I have my normal Sunday group that I kind of consider my home group because we've been together for a few years now.
The international group of awesomeness.
Indeed. I love those guys. They're so great.
Yeah, I love watching you play. I love watching you play.
Thanks. Thank you. All right, welcome back, guys. Let's pick up with our ISB agent because I'm really curious how things go. Let's start off, though, with the stress relief, right? Because otherwise we jump straight in. You're not going to get much opportunity for that. I think that'll be in.
Now, is there a rule that I see the note about setting the stress to 2 at the beginning of the session? Is that happening, or
no?
Okay.
It's really unclear. So the way that it works is if you have less than that much stress, you go back to it. If you have more than that amount of stress, then you have to burn it off. So yeah.
Oh, good, because I was looking forward to burning off some stress.
I'm looking forward to it too. This is a really fun aspect of the game, and so I'm really glad that you're into it because it's super cool.
The way I envision this starting is that I'd like to say that that the cybernetic implant was a success, but there's a lot of inflammation at the meeting joint where the flesh meets the metal, and it's been bothering a lot, and that might be the peak of the slippery slope that takes me down my inevitable crash into addiction if the dice should determine so.
Oh, that sounds good. What is the particular drug that you think he is using? Spice, wasted, slick, or just regular intoxicants?
Yeah, I'm getting lose yourself in a substance. Let's see.
Yeah, so are you, it looks like, are you the anonymous squirrel? I want to make sure that everybody has access to the rule set where I've hacked over the particular Star Warsiness into Cartel. When you lose yourself in a substance, roll with grit, which you have a +1 in. On a hit, you clear your stress track. On a 7 to 9, the drugs take a toll. Make a drug move off the list. On a miss, you're in deep. May the force be with you. So good.
Yeah, I'm trying to get a sense of which of these substances will be the closest to like a medicinal, like a painkiller sort of thing.
Cool. So good question. I kind of swapped them out. Hold on a sec. I'm gonna try to find the drug moves in the original. Here we go. So spice is the same as cocaine. Wasted is the same as. Hold on. Wait, let me show. Okay, so slick is the same as crystal meth. Intoxicant liquids is alcohol. Spice is heroin, and wasted is cocaine. So I'm gonna move wasted up just so if you were looking at the original rule set, there you go. Now they line up 1 for 1.
How do you feel about the equivalent to heroin being what I'm using?
That makes sense. So it's effectively a cleaner version of spice that you are using. That you originally got it during treatment, but now it's been a week, and they're probably trying to wean you off of that to get you back in the field. That sounds awesome. I like that. Go ahead and roll with grit, and let's see if you need to make a drug move or if you're good.
Roll with grit. Oh, I got a 10.
Oh, you lucky son of a gun. All right, so that means you don't have to make a drug move. Drug moves, if you engaged it, that means that with spice, you would either have to push someone who cares about you away, overlook a crucial deadline or event, or steal funds in preparation for your next fix. So close, so close. Cool. So open up the scene. You've you've taken some spice. I'm going to say that you've got some, like I don't know, how did you get this hold of this spice that you currently have taken?
This is the first of the illicitly secured stuff. Well, I think the easiest thing is, that I don't know if ISB would be doing drug busts on the regular, but if it's or he at least uses, he'd start using his access to. He'd probably use his authority to get access to some captured supplies, whether it's at ISB or down at the Coruscant security level.
Yeah, so you went to the CSF holding and checked out some of it, and some of it left on your person. That sounds amazing. I love that. You're back at your flat. What does it look like, the place where you reside? And does Kanan live with you, or does he live on his own?
I think he lives on. I see Kanan living on his own. Because being forced to work for a drug dealer is going to stress a familial relationship. So, yeah, he's got his own place. My place, I'd say, is probably a little messier than you might expect from or maybe exactly as messy as you'd expect, depending on what you think of the guy. But it is on the messy side, not very organized, and so certainly not up to Imperial standards, if there's such a thing for that. And probably getting a little even messier now that he's, although, well, he might have a cleaning droid or something now that I think about it. So it's okay, but it's not for his lack of trying for the place to be messy, but it's it's all right.
I like it. He's got a little, like almost like a little mouse droid that has a few attachments that zips around and cleans and picks up clothes and moves them into a little basket. But you've got a couple of baskets of unclean clothes that you've got to get a service in or take down to so to have them laundered. That sounds awesome. Cool. So you lose yourself into the substance. It's spice. It's the stuff. This is some of White Moon's best stuff that has been in holding, that they haven't been able to finger whoever created this, but it is good and pure. And you lose yourself. Yeah, compliments to Huli. The losing yourself in a substance in this game is like you go on a bender, is the idea behind it in Cartel, and so we'll represent that in Hutt Cartel. So you're kind of gone for a day. Luckily, you're still technically, like, this is your last day before you're supposed to go back to work. And when you wake up in a pile of your own drool, the sound of the door chime, what is the craziest thing that you did last night that you remember?
I think it's I think he might have started trying to concoct a concrete scheme for the plan that he and Kanan kind of have floating in our heads about pulling a scam, but of course it's complete nonsense.
You just kind of written down some hastily scribbled notes and data pad of ways to make it big. That sounds good. So yeah, the door chime, and the vid feed shows that it is Kara, your partner.
Of course. I'm okay. I'm like in an open bathrobe, and I've probably got my whatever Imperials wear for underpants, and I'll just open up and say, I don't. Wait, is this my first day back on duty?
Yeah, I think you're supposed to have been, like, you're a little bit late for work.
Oh, I see. Well, I'll just say I may very well think that I've still got one more day. I'll open up and say, don't I have one more day off?
No. She looks down and seems to get a little nervous. Right.
Right. Okay, yeah, just give me a minute, and then I'll close the door and leave her outside, and then I'll just like hastily throw on my maybe not so tidy weights anymore.
Cool. All right, maybe we cut ahead to you two of you. She's driving, which is the first time that we've seen her drive. She's driving the hover car, the speeder headed into the CSF or the ISB bureau where you guys are, which is located inside the large CSF department. And she says to you, like she reaches and turns down there's no sound, no music, and says, "Listen, so Tanis and Miri, Tanis is bragging that she's going to have a really big bust. Yeah, she says she knows where the place where they're cooking up everything that the White Moons distribute.
The White
She
Moons?
found it. Yeah. They're the organization that she says.
That's us, right? Out of character.
Yeah. That's
what I thought. That's right. I remember us naming it that. That's right.
Direct opposition to the Black Suns. You guys are just defiant as all get out.
Really? You know where?
They wouldn't tell me. She said that I would tell you, which of course I'm doing because you're my partner. And I don't know. But they're supposed to be at the station, so maybe we follow them.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, that's a good plan. I think this is going to be a big bus. We're all going to want to be on this. And then as soon as we land at Bureau, I'm going to excuse myself and try to find a as private a place as possible to make a call.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So we cut to Zoshta finishing up arrangements for the arrival of the Pikes. They will be here any moment, and I'm assuming that Arashine is around, or is she still heading back towards her flat?
I don't know. Do you have what's the resolution of my gang raid from last week?
Let's see. Let's speak about that quickly. So the intent for that gang raid was, because we've had a week pass, so we can kind of talk past. What did you send them out to do again? You sent Bosk out to.
Yeah, I sent Bosk to attack Black Suns, who I knew where they were gathering, to scatter them and capture some, so I can use them as to throw some blame of attacking some police precinct on the dead bodies of the Black Suns, so to capture some.
Right, and if I remember correctly, you used henchman management, and that was a failure, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, so
that was an epic fail.
Yeah, that was an epic fail. Things did not go well. Bosk survived, as did about half of your forces, but you lost quite a few to the hit out on the docks on Black Sun Trent freighter. They were unable to take out the freighter, and when it turned on them, they got blown to hell. So not good at all.
Yeah, I suppose I will be there waiting for the Pikes, and I will deal with the new members later, because I assume we have recruited back to our usual number, and
yeah, you've got some new green recruits, but they're super eager, and Bosk says he'll keep them in line in his confident way. I don't know if Venus trusts Bosk to keep them in line. Just so you know, Venus, new blood, fresh in the game. Give them a bunch of blasters. There's always some risk there. You get a call though, Arashine, as you're standing. Let's say you're near Venus when this call comes in on your comm link. Secure line.
secure line. I suppose who that might be. Yes. Yeah, I pick up.
Okay.
Yeah. This is supposed to be me?
I thought you were calling. Okay, wait. Who are you calling?
I'm sorry.
I assumed. I should not have assumed. I could have asked. Were you calling Russian A?
I was meaning to call Kanan.
Oops. Oh, crap. I'm so sorry. I was like, do you want to talk to a player character? We'll totally set that up. Sweet. So let's...
You have won sweepstakes to a beautiful vacation to Yavin 4.
Sorry. Let me cut back. All right, so you're calling Kanan. Yes?
Yeah. Kanan, this is it's me.
Oh, good.
How ready can you get the thing together? You know, the birthday. How ready? How quickly can you get the birthday surprise together? That's our code name.
I'm pretty carked up, man. I don't know. Give me an hour.
All right, just be ready. Things might be shaking down, and the birthday surprise may be about to get blown.
Oh hell. Okay.
I assume he knows what I assume he knows what I'm trying to indicate, that there may be a bust on bust on the kitchen. Like I'd say something like the cake's about to get discovered or something like that. Something innocuous sounding.
Yeah, that lights a fire under his butt, and he gets a little nervous there. Yeah. I'll head that way.
Wait, you're heading into the kitchen?
Oh God, man, what do you need? What do you want me to do?
All right. Saying that, I might need to talk a little more clearly. It's remember the weekend. I'm going to keep coming up with different code names. It's going to be a comedy of errors here, but the weekend getaway we were planning.
Yeah.
The secret weekend getaway plan. Yeah, I think we may need to embark on that a lot sooner than we thought. So can you get something together just to try to get can you try to pack some luggage before, so that we can head out at a moment's notice before our roommates find out the luggage isn't packed.
Yeah, man. Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll give you more word when the landlord's about to drop in.
Okay. I'm gonna get stuff ready.
All right, you do that.
And yeah, you hear the sound of him getting up, groaning, and trying to take care of business. So you come back to the CSF. You guys arrive at the department, and yeah, you come in and you see that drinking a couple of cups of clava as Miri looks over the last bits of paperwork on her data pad. There is Tanis.
I'll just walk in and with arms open, say, "What? No surprise party? No welcome back party?"
Oh yeah, welcome back. Well, it looks like they gave you a good replacement. You should go full Borg. I heard that helps with attitude adjustments.
Oh, I'm far too pretty for that kind of a high scale makeover. Anyway, I hear you all have got a big party in plan. I will happily accept an invite to that bust in lieu of cake and confetti.
Oh, really? You want to horn in on my collar? Is that what you're saying?
You're in command. I just want to help out. Bust these guys up good.
She looks at you. She looks over at Kara.
Look, I know there's been. I know you've been. I know you. I know you don't respect me, but it's important that. No, I'll say something like, "I know you don't respect me," and this is earnest. I it kind of eats me up inside. And as I was, as I've been away, I've been lying in that hospital and getting my new arm. I've just been thinking it's time to kind of put in my extra 10% to my 100%, and I just want to show that I'm not just some. I know you look at me as a stream punk, but I'm a lot more than that, and I can be a big help. And then I think I can really help you make this a huge bust for your career, and that's all I want at this point. I'm just happy to be alive. Live and in service. That's what I
Nice. I like that. I think you're trying to pressure her to go along with you.
Sure.
When you pressure someone to go along with you, roll with hustle.
Hustle. Let's under that. Roll for your party. Highlight the dice and roll. I got a 10.
Wow. Oh, the dice like you today. On a hit, they see your point. They have to go along with you for now or mark stress. She looks over, and it looks like she doesn't really want to go for this at all, but the redheaded Miri, she just steps in and says, we expect that it's going to be highly secured, so a couple more agents, good agents, could be helpful. We don't really want to bring in anybody from the CSF because you know what they're going to do.
Yeah, trust me, I remember. I remember all too well what they were like.
We think there are moles in the CSF, and if we let them know what we found, then there won't be anything left to find. So we've got to move quick. Captain knows what we're doing. He knows where it is. And she will turn her data pad around, and you see she draws in, there's a couple of the vector lines of graph, because you were in Empire Strikes Back timeline, so it's not Google Maps. But when you see the little pin that she's dropped, sure enough, that's where Huli cooks all this stuff.
Where does he cook?
He cooks on 1313. It's not far away. I'm imagining that it's in, there's a front of some business that never gets any actual business, and he cooks in the back area, what would be the cooler, but there's a whole back area for them to take in all the supplies, cook everything together, make it fresh. He's the chemist. He's the guy who makes it happen. It's like a chicken place, like a space chicken place. That is my Breaking Bad reference. That's it.
Right.
Although it was a car wash there. Sorry.
Is there a time? Is there anything like a timeline on in the notes? When it's going to go down?
Their plan is that within the hour they're heading out. They're leaving from here to go there.
Okay. Excellent. I'll start suiting up.
Okay. Cool. So let's cut to the dinner party. We see the sleek long speeder limo. It's like jet black, kind of shiny, like it's prequel movie sleek. It's not the beaten up and dingy and corroded look of the original trilogy. This is a nice looking speeder limo, and a pair of pikes get out of it. The two pikes who get out are Kor and his consort, Chema. Two of them are well dressed, and of course Kor has a couple of other bodyguards with him. I'm kind of imagining that they're dressed similar to, if you guys, I don't think you guys seen Solo Story but me, but if you look in the picture that I have for the Pike Syndicate, there are a couple of thugs with them in that picture who have these weird pancake type helmets and shock batons, and they roll out of the limo, the speeder limo with these guys, and they start making their way to your estate. Thank you for the pictures that you shared of Arash's penthouse, because that is really great for helping me visualize. Really cool pictures, by the way.
Definitely.
I really like those. And they look like a Druglord's estate. That's all I'm saying. And they start heading towards the door. Do you greet them, Arashine, or is this a thing where you wait? Like, do you lie in wait? You like Darth Vader, where like everybody leaves and then you're there, or is it a thing where you go down and greet them? What's the plan here, Arashine? Although Zoshta, I mean, you're the dinner party expert, so how have you planned things? I'm putting in Zoshta's hands. How should this dinner party go? Should this be?
Zoshta will welcome them. Of course, he has Remy, a Bothan servant that we have, holding a platter of drinks, which is, Celestin gin and blue tonic, of course. Opens the palate, and it's refreshing and welcoming. I think Zoshta greeting them shows probably to the Pikes that they're trusted, because the wife, quote unquote, the spouse is there to greet them.
Mm-hmm.
And therefore someone who could be vulnerable, so it's a gesture of trust.
Very cool. The greeting that you get from Kor, he speaks first. Chima seems to attend him, and Kor says, "Thank you for being understanding about the rescheduling of this meeting. I have quite looked forward to it."
Absolutely, and it was very gracious of you to understand that our times were troubling and that things needed to be resolved properly.
Chima, she's for a Pike, right? Because they are very different looking. They kind of normally have long, lanky limbs, these extended necks, almond eyes. There's something about Chima. She's very graceful, and her fingers are tapered, and her body is lithe. And she looks around and says, "You have a lovely home, Zoshta."
Thank you. It's something I'm glad I can take care of for Arashine.
She inhales. The smells here are so unlike 1313. It reminds me of home. There are notes of different fruits here. Do you have a garden?
We do. We have a small garden on the patio in the penthouse. Relatively hard to keep given the environment, and I sort of scoff at the debris on the on this level.
She nods gently. Yes.
But something that's excellent for hosting fine guests like yourself.
You're too kind. I would very much like to see your garden at some point.
I would be happy to show you. Please have a drink and come in.
Cool. Yes, they each take a drink. I imagine that you've got helping you or assisting you is Za?
Actually, it was the Bothan Remy.
Okay.
Who I just threw in there. Za's currently managing the kitchen to get the items prepared for food.
Okay.
I'll yell at him later, I'm sure.
Well, you do care about him, and that's powerful and important. It's good for power-ups. Good. Let's swing to Arashine and Venus. Where are the two of you in the estate?
I think that while Zoshta is greeting our guests, we are inside the penthouse, And I'm not sure where Venus is, but we definitely see that Orasha is reprimanding Bosk for how he prepared the troops, and she says to him, "Just look on them, all in battle armor, ready to jump our guests. This is a peaceful meeting. We don't need a situation. Just leave the guys who know what is going on and can look appropriately and get this fresh meat out of here. I don't know, give them some guard duty. We need. How long are you working for me? We need to be professional in this. I can't have new blood just running around with waving guns where we are having a guest coming in."
Oh man, you are definitely abusing. I guess it's in front of his guys. And if you don't mind, I'd love it if also here is Z36. You cool with that? If he's here to witness this, your contact with the Hutts.
Sure, why not?
Awesome.
Let's have Z here. We at least will see him. So
yes, he's in the background. He's like this sleek IG-90 unit with where everything's like dark black circuits, and all of his chassis is the kind of thing that could easily blend into the shadows. You're verbally abusing or shaming Bosk here, so let's have you roll with faith. Oh, actually, do you care about Bosk?
Yeah, he's the leader of my hit squad. He's the man I trust to follow, to give whom I'm giving orders. So
all right, well then roll with face. Your face is a 2. You're pretty good at this.
Yeah, I advanced, and I have 7-9.
I rolled a 9. Okay, on a 7 to 9, you clear 1 stress. And he has to mark stress. So Bosk, at first he clenches up, and you can hear the words that he's going to hiss out about, well, they showed up with guards and a show of force, but you lay into him, and you saw this new recruits that he pulled off the streets, and he looks over at you, Venus, for just some kind, any flicker of support. What do we see from Venus as you're watching this tongue lashing that Arashane is giving to Bosk?
I think that Venus is a little conflicted, because it looks like maybe Rasha is positioning Bosk to be her replacement, and that she wants her to do a different role. So she's thinking about all the ways that she would have done it differently, and not really giving a lot of support to Bosk.
Okay, you leave him hanging, and he just sucks it up, and he looks over at his newly hired thugs and says something to them in Transition, and then switches to basic. Let's go. Don't want to cause any trouble. Right, then he'll he clocks one of them in the back of the head as they're walking out. Comes up with some excuse about their uniform looking ugly, or you don't even have that set to stun, you idiot. And they will head out, and Z comes up. You should not have provoked the Black Sun.
And why is that, Z?
Because the Black Sun takes no quarter, and the Black Sun leaves no traces.
Listen, Z, you want me to take over from the previous guy who ruled this place? So I did. And because this place had a spaceport, a lot of stuff going through, it was inevitable. So if you are saying me not to fight the Black Suns, are you dealing with them as well? There can only be one person ruling 1313. There can't be two. So either it's me or it's Black Suns. I prefer it to be me. And you?
Of course I prefer it to be you. As do my employers.
Great. So maybe you can arrange some backup, some really Blackwater Merc squad to come here and show some ropes for the Black Suns.
Are you proposing a deal here?
I could be. Why not? Yeah. Propose a deal to get what you want while we face. So yeah, although I'm not sure if you have any leverage over him actually. It has to be about money or stuff like that. So yeah, let's do it interestingly. I would say, you know how much I know you are just collecting cut for the Hutts, but I think you and your alike would be also interested in getting in making some money on the side. How about half a million credits for a Blackwater squad of droids to take care of the Black Suns over here?
Well, you can't read expressions on a droid. But that's quite a lot of credits. And yeah, I think you definitely need to roll with face.
Yeah, I think I'm like on the verge of stretching my finance as well. So who knows? Who knows what we will see? So yeah, let's roll the dice. Luckily, I boosted some face, and I gave myself an experience point from using knowledge and expertise in verbally abusing Bosk. So
Okay. That's right. Yeah.
It's a 6 + 2. It's an 8. So you have
Okay.
some sweet choice.
What was the amount that you offered him? $250,000?
You know, there are no indications to what my finance is capable of. The only indication is that wealth beyond most, able to put through thousands of dollars in savings or toward a problem. So I said like 500,000 credits, probably just enough to, I don't know, a lot of credits to get me some Merc squad.
So after a moment, he says, $750,000. That means you're going to have to significantly increase production for a few months to make up that amount.
You drive a hard bargain. I hope the team you will get me will do the deed. Yeah, I should make some calls and call for increased production. But I think we have a deal. And then like give him a hand to shake.
Yeah, it's after there's a moment that this thin appendage comes out, and it doesn't really have a grip per se as much as you squeeze your hand around it, and he lets go of it. As I will remain and observe, but I of course will not partake in the food. I'm curious about the Pike's desires to meet with you. Do you trust them?
I trust Pikes as far as I can show them. But I hope my partner will question them enough to get some good answers while I'll be forging as well deals so that they can take over the corpse of Black Suns after this Merc squad deals with them, so that I will have control over them as well in the districts. However, what they really want, I'm really curious to know as well.
His head swivels around, and his little red oculars focus on you, Vanus. What part do you play now? I see that while you are an assassin, that you do not handle security any longer.
My eyes like slowly drift over to Arasha. It's like I'm what I always was. a servant of Arasha.
Understood. So let's swing back to the. I imagine you're back in your squad car, and you're following the other two ISB agents. So there's 4 of you guys that are headed towards the. Space Chicken is stupid rich. Let's come up with something else. What's a good front? Does anybody have an idea of a good front where Huli operates? Some kind of business.
Wasn't in like a Nutra, Nutra paste, manufacturer or something like that.
Oh, that's the warehouse where Caden was being held,
or
where they sat on him for a bit, and by they I mean Vanus.
How about a droid spare parts place?
Oh, that sounds fun. I like that. Yeah. Some Toydarian operated droid spare parts place that never gets any business whatsoever, and in the back is where they cook stuff up. So you're headed to let's go ahead and use I work so hard on species names and slang, so when I use it, let's say that it is Sakwish. Sakwish's spare parts.
Okay. Before I got in the squad car, I would have liked to have at least gotten one more sneak message off to my brother, just saying when the raid was going to that the raid was about to, just to give him a heads up that the raid's about to happen, that he needs to be clear of the place.
Oh, so wait, who'd you send the message to?
To Kanan, because I think what I decided to do, I'd asked them to kind of clear the drugs out of the kitchen before the bust, and I just wanted to give him one final heads up to know when the bust was about to happen, to make sure that he'd know not to be there.
Okay, so you have told Kanan they're going to bust the kitchen. I'm just making sure I understand what all the code words mean.
Oh, sure, yeah, I know.
You told Kanan ahead of time, hey, we're coming to bust the kitchen. He says, oh, I need some time. And you're like, no, it's coming now. And so he said, oh, crap. Okay, all right. I'm heading out that way. Now you're saying you want to send him another quick coded message.
Well, I guess if the first message, he knew he had to clear the drugs out as soon as possible. That's all I need, because as long as he knows not to linger around as long as he knows that the raid is imminent, if he knew that from the first message, then I wouldn't need to send a second message. I just wanted to make sure that he wasn't going to linger around the kitchen. I don't want him to be there. Hopefully, I don't want him to be there when the bust actually goes down.
Okay. So then, I think what Kate is going to do once he hears about this is, man, so you and Kane have talked about this is a perfect chance to you want your opportunity to make a move. So, as much as Kanan should be telling Arashane what's going down, I think he's just going to go in ahead to the kitchen and try to rob the place as much as he can. That's his plan.
Yeah, that's the general gist. I mean, it's going to be a sloppy thing, but I don't know. Seems like things are only getting hotter, and I don't especially after his almost his near-death experience. I don't think he's willing to wait for the perfect time to make a move, especially since this is the last game session.
So you're headed that way, and that's when that's when a message comes to I guess. Would he have a direct line to Venus or Arashane or Kanan? Huli, sorry. Huli would call Venus. Yeah.
Yeah, well, we have to remember that even though I'm the boss, I have probably someone else as well who handles production. So, it's the cartel. Huli probably doesn't know Arasha personally. Huli, I know of him. But he is contacted by someone. I'm not even sure if this is Venus or someone or someone else will call Venus and says, "Hey, there is a problem."
Yeah, because let's have somebody. I like the idea of Huli.
Are friends. We have drinks together, right?
But does he know that he worked for the cartel?
I think so. Right?
I think, yeah,
Sure.
I think Venus doesn't really hide what she does. She's pretty proud of it. Cool. So Huli gives you a quick call.
Oh, me? A quick call.
No, sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Huli calls Venus. I'm jumping around and I'm not using proper
Sure.
names, and I apologize.
Okay.
Huli
No
calls
problem.
Venus.
And we're still waiting for the pikes to come up, right?
Pikes are coming up. This is all like everybody's starting to filter in around the dinner table. We're going to jump to the dinner table in just a moment, but you get this call before you head in, or maybe you haven't quite gone into where everybody else is. You see it's from Huli.
Huli, I don't have a lot of time. Is something going on?
That idiot Kanan's outside. I don't trust him. He
Kanan.
says there's some trouble coming. He wants me to let him in.
That little womp rat. He's a deceiver, Huli.
And he says it's ISB. So I can't really count on that. If it was the CSF, I would just weather it. They'd be fine. What do you want me to do? Let him in?
Wow. What is my time table look like in order to get there?
I mean, it's one level. I would imagine in a speeder you can get there pretty quick, but on foot it's going to take you 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah. I can talk to Arasha and see what we should do.
Okay. Okay. Call me back.
See if you can stall.
I'll try.
So I'm super excited because this is action, and I was really not looking forward to this party. So I'll come back to you, Arasha. Right? Like I think like the pikes are nearly here, right?
Yeah, they're like walking it. They come up the level. We've had a quick Voshta gave them a little tour of the lower levels. Now they come up to the main dining area. We've got the huge table with the spread of food and a bunch of people buzzing around, dropping off all the foods and drinks and the pikes that are coming in. You see that Arashane is there and Voshta's joined her.
So I come up to you and I'm kind of like tugging at my formal dress and buttons and things like that. I say, Arasha, trouble at one of the kitchens. It's that little rat Kanan. He says that the ISB is coming. Should I go handle it for you?
To one of our kitchens. Yeah, yes, definitely. I can't have any problems right now, especially when packs are here. So yeah, I can. Please go there and make sure things can be traced to us. We can lose one kitchen if things go south, but nothing can be traced back to us. If you know what I mean.
You know, I'm happy to hear that you're so willing to allow that. I was worried that you were going to make me stay and talk with these stuffy suits.
I was more like wondering if you will not need to shoot them if they draw first, but this thing seems more pressing. It seems that Rosmer it seems that my contact in ISB is losing grip on the things. So yeah, please go and handle the situation. I trust you. Do whatever you must.
You have great wisdom, Arasha. I think I say like some like quick proverb in like Natolan, right? And I kind of like head towards like the hover pad area or whatever where I could grab a speeder, and I'm like ripping off this suit as I'm going.
Nice.
Like a Clark Kent type thing almost.
Underneath his battle armor.
Right.
Oh, that sounds good. I think you are then trying to push your luck in order to get there before things have already happened.
Cool. With grit. Oh, snake eyes.
Oh man, that sounds amazing. I mean, bummer.
Right.
Bummer for you. Oh, I'm so sorry. Cool. So, I love it. You leave the dinner party. We're going to cut away from your miss, and you leave the dinner party, but we're going to stick with the dinner party because Core Pike, who is a well-placed member of the Pike Syndicate, he inclines his head to you, Arashine, and says, "Thank you for inviting me into your home."
Core, pleasure to see you. Thank you for accepting the invitation on short notice.
Yes. I hope that you understand the particulars of the Pike diet.
I look on Zoshta, and it's like with like a one eyebrow raised. Like, do you?
Does Zoshta understand the particulars of Pike diet?
Totally up to you.
If I would have known they were, I actually thought Pike was like a family name originally. But obviously Zoshta would know better if he lives among them.
Yeah, he lives among them. They're the Pike Syndicate. There's info on the Pikes. They're definitely aliens, and I think that there's certain spices that don't do well with them. Is all that it is. They eat a relatively bland food.
Like Zoshta's like, oh, of course.
As a Core, I have everything under control.
And I motion, Zaveshi over, and it's like, please, a bite before we start dinner. And their little Fenty bean fritters that are, very bland, actually.
Nice. Yeah, he takes it. They have 3-fingered hands, right? So he takes one, takes a bite of it. They've got their normally Pikes, when they walk around, they've got these weird little encounter helmets. But he's got his off, so you can see their oddly shaped face, and you can also see the actually tapered face of Kema. And Gemma, she takes a bite. So this is lovely. There is just a hint, of a cinnamon. I like this. This is very good. She takes another bite, and Core nods like, "Oh, okay. My taste tester has tasted this, and it didn't kill her." And so we progress through a bit of the dinner party. This is a perfect opportunity, of course, for Zoshta to engage a particular move.
Yes, it is.
So you guys start to
share a meal
for a bit.
with someone.
Yes.
So I have a move called Eat Something. When I share a meal with someone, I roll face, and hopefully poisoning doesn't ensue. So with face, that is a 10.
Nice. You hold 3.
Right, I hold 3. What do they want from our family?
So you guys settle into the dinner party as it is, and there are moments of quiet as people eat, and both of the Pikes are reserved. There are 2 guards they brought in with their force Pikes, like they don't sit down. They have actually put the force Pikes away. Like they probably have some weapons on them, but none that are openly displayed. And as you guys continue through the meal, so she kind of broach the subject, and that's when Core gives this bland, non-committal answer. But you pick up from Chema that they are very interested in an alliance with Arashine, because they know that she is an enemy of the Black Suns. And what they want from your family is to pair up and try to clear the Black Suns out of the 1200 and 1300 levels of Coruscant.
Okay. Let me go to the next one. What threat do they pose to us?
Ooh, cool. So, during the conversation, as Core starts to tell a couple of war stories, you find that there's a particular familiarity with the Black Suns. Like, he pushes on a lot of the very violent threats, and some of them don't hold water. Like, he specifically mentions the idea of them hitting cantinas with thugs that doesn't ring true. That it seems tactically a provocation that doesn't make as much sense to do it with people who are obviously Black Suns and throwing them to slaughter. So there's something about the way that he's trying to prop up the Black Suns as a threat that doesn't ring true to you.
The propping them up as the threat is propping up how they would respond to the threat.
Propping up how they would respond. The Black Suns are absolutely a threat, but there are particular ways that he's spinning the story of how, the Black Suns will go in if there's an area that they want. They'll encroach by taking down the cantinas. They send some of their guys, and they don't care if those guys are killed or what. They just want to strike fear in the hearts of the people. What feels not right, the threat that he poses is, you get a feeling that he had a hand in the Happy Bantha. He's a little too familiar in what went down
there. Which makes the last question tougher. Why should I trust him? Given that. Good. And maybe I, even say something like, it's, the incident of the Happy Bantha was very uncommon and very unlike them, given the presence of, and I looked to where Venus left, given the presence of our protection.
You must understand that Core says you need to understand that the Black Suns are a hated enemy, not only by the Pike Syndicate, but personally for me. Anything that I can do to hurt the Black Suns. You see, I have lost 2 family members to the Black Suns. A cousin at first, a beloved cousin, but also my daughter. She was assassinated. And because of that, I'm willing to go to great lengths to hurt them, to drive them off of this planet. And anyone who is beside me, I will remember. Anyone who stands out of my way, I will also remember that.
I looked to Arash and I'm like, we understand that family is one of the most important things, and we can understand why you'd be looking for an alliance with us. It would be, think I'm actually going to be stepping outside the bounds here a little bit. Like, but I would hope you wouldn't have had anything to do with the incident at the Happy Bantha in your overzealous pursuit of your goal. And I'm totally trying to get to the truth.
Yes, yes, yes. This is awesome. Oh, that's so good. That's so perfect too, man. Do it. Get the truth. You can get the truth out of someone. Roll with hustle. Oh, I love it. I love it.
I roll an 11.
Holy crap. Okay, so
It's like they're stressed too.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah. Good job. On a hit, you clear one stress.
Oh, wait. I have no stress.
Oh, that's right, because you did your part.
Because everything is organized and
you got your stuff in
all set.
By the way, just because anybody watching this doesn't get to see the amazing food layout that you put in the dinner courses and dessert, and you've got your appetizers.
I haven't even brought up the dessert yet.
Oh, man, but what are the appetizers?
The appetizers being served are Attican eel bites. None of those crummy Rodian eel bites. Toast with bantha butter and ladneck tail. Dinner, of course, is a alcohol steak with gruffle fruit and stuffed albina peppers.
Oh my god, that's what they're eating right now, like the stuffed albina peppers.
Keeps on being platters, broad.
Oh,
actually, I think this is plated courses, so we have enough staff to kind of bring plates as we're talking.
Yeah, of course. I mean, we definitely have enough stuff to do a cool party.
You have an estate.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do. With the totally dope looking picture. A set of pictures that I'm super imagining that that you got this vista of the outside from where you guys are. Occasionally we see speeders go by, and then there's a soft glow, like an orange glow from the fake lights of 1313. There's just up this high up, the orange glow of the lights with the smog that comes up in particular areas to get these cool gradations of light. And you guys are currently in the main course here when you try to get the truth out of core. You get 2 choices from that 3-choice list. So what are your 2? This is gonna be pretty crazy.
Well, they can't stonewall me with silence.
Mm-hmm.
And they can't confuse me with falsehoods, which leaves open, of course, that they can mislead me with the truth.
Oof. All right. So course says the Black Sun transition that attacked you. It is true that he once worked for my organization. But he was and died a member of the Black Suns. I'm sure that you may have your suspicions if you've already found out that transition's former loyalty to me. But the Black Sun threat to you is real. You'll have to accept what I am offering, or you can hold a petty grudge about a cantina.
Russia responding to this.
How Russia is responding to this?
You know, does she look angry? You know, because Zosha would try and deflect that.
I think when you look at Orasha, you see a mixture of like, would I rather like forget some small incident where nobody died and forge a deal, or cut the or cut some or have some problems, or argue about some failed job about Cantina. I think you can see that she's like more like into like forging a deal over here, and unless something really major, more important comes up than failed shootout in the cantina, otherwise she would like continue and in forging the deal over here.
Okay, so you're not looking, you know, enraged or anything. So I'm like,
is definitely like an eyebrow to you that you question him about like, and he admitted that he's responsible, but like she isn't going to like it was just like an eyebrow,
like,
well done, and then just like continue with the small talk.
Of course, we're willing to let bygones be bygones to take care of the very pressing threat of the Black Suns. After all, no one was seriously hurt, and it was resolved quickly with no shutdown of the Happy Bantha.
Kiba jumps in and says, yes, that was masterfully done. Your control of the CSF here is impressive. We have not been quite so lucky on the 1200 levels.
Thank you. I'm doing what is necessary, so that after we negotiate an alliance, I can also share some of this good influence over CSF with you, with my allies as well.
And then her eyes kind of scan across and fix on you for a moment, Zoshta. I'm so glad that the Happy Bantha remained open. It's such an interesting place. Such fascinating staff. And then she puts a little food in her mouth.
Like it's my own little taste of Tatooine, where I spent several years, or a few years.
Yes. Yes. Not.
Please have another drink.
she about to say something about.
And I'm trying to distract her.
Oh, that sounds good. I think you're trying to justify your behavior a little bit here.
I think that's appropriate.
All right.
Face. See if my luck will run out. And it does. That's a 5.
Oh, that's a 5. Awesome. Yeah. She says, Tatooine. Yes. You're from Tatooine. Interesting.
Not originally, but for a couple years.
She looks to Core. Core looks back at her. The two of them nod. She says that when the meal is complete, I would very much enjoy a tour of the garden.
Of course. We plan on having desserts and cocktails, dinner cocktails out there.
Oh, lovely. I am ready for them now.
So, Zoshta, why don't you show our guest around the gardens while me and Core discuss the more hard details?
Of course.
Nice.
Core
I
offer Jim a hand or an arm, and we'll go out.
Yeah. Jim, she will head out and we see Core reaching for a data pad from one of his guys, and he starts talking about, like, here are the forces and the security stuff, and this is what I want. And you guys can negotiate that out. You head out to the garden, and she says, one of your dancers has a very lovely son. And we'll cut away. We cut away to the arrival of the pair of squad cars to the smoking area that was once a droid part. And you see their flames already burning up, and yeah, it's been torched. And at the same time, we also see the speeder bike, or did you say you took a speeder? Like, what is it that Banus is?
Yeah, I think it'd be cool if it was a speeder bike.
Sweet. So yeah, your speeder bike, you're coming in on this as well, but you see the two ISB vehicles have pulled up to see this fire going on.
Kanan. You son of a slang word.
Son of a Sith.
Son of a Sith. So these are CSF or ISB?
These are ISB, and in fact, you recognize Rosmer Solari and his partner as Carrie gets out, and she's do you think anyone's alive in there?
Let's find out. Do we we'll go ahead and I guess we'll go ahead and rush in.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, as soon as you get out. Yeah. Sorry.
Who's taking the lead is
it's Tannis's caller, so she's going to try to take the lead.
Sure.
She is pissed.
Sure. I like pissed too.
You look pissed too. Awesome. So yeah, she goes in, and you see that the main droid part area, like the front shop, it's looks like it's relatively untouched. And then you come into a back area, and that's where a lot of the smoke is coming out. And you see there's a door that's off of its hinges, blown on the inside. And when you come into that area, you can see that there's a great deal of drug paraphernalia, but not many drugs. And then the body of an Ithorian who's been shot a few times. And
that being Hooli?
That being Hooli.
Mm.
This is your fault. What, you cranking Slimo? She turns on you.
Oh, what are you talking about?
She shoves you back, and she says, "This was a setup. You're the only one who knows."
I've been working this arm for the past week or so. I only found out about this like 5 minutes ago. What are you talking? How am I going to set up anything?
No, you did this. You burned me. You burned me.
Listen, we all need to just calm down and just try to make the most of. I don't know. We need to scour to see if we can find anything. Maybe there's some clue got left behind. Who knows?
I think you're trying to justify your behavior here.
Yeah, sure. And that's going to be well. The roll is the roll is a 7. And what am I adding to this?
It is face.
It's a 7 then.
Yeah,
Oh,
7
boy.
to 9. On a 7 to 9, you let something important slip as you. Oh, sorry. That's pressure someone. Sorry. Okay. On a hit, they broadly accept your logic and trust your answers. Okay.
Yeah, basically being that I've been laid up with the arm too long to I guess that's the general gist. I haven't had enough time.
And Karen, I'm saying is this: she's trying to defend you. And she says,
"Oh, sure.
He was blitzed out of his brain until I went to get it this morning." She says, "You don't know. He was so messed up."
Thanks, partner. Thanks, partner.
But no, there's no way he could have done anything. We went there. You guys.
Actually, I might play along with those. Yeah, I've been really doped up. I might actually play along with that.
Nice. And so, yeah, she's not dragging you through the mud as much as saying, no, he couldn't have had a big plan because he's been coked up on spice. And Venus, what are you doing? You see the 4 ISB agents have gone into the lab. And what do you want to do here?
Yeah, arrived too late. I think I want to kind of circle the perimeter, go around back, and see if I can find Kanan. See if he's still around.
I think you're trying to push your luck then. Roll with grit.
For sure. Unless this could be stalk, I don't really know.
Oh, stalk is awesome. Down. Yeah. No, let's use your moves. That's what you're there for. When you track someone down, roll with savagery.
Let's do that. So I got hella savagery.
I hope so. You roll a 6.
Yeah, I had 9.
That's pretty badass. On 7 to 9, they have backup or is public. Ooh, yeah. Cool. So you see the ISB and you're like, I'm not worried about them. I want to see what's going on. You think it's Kanan. You head out, do a quick perimeter. You're still on the speeder bike, so it's easier for you to canvas the place. And you spot Kanan. Kanan has... we're imagining he's in the market, right? So we're using the set that we put up for the market with the conversation between Kara and Zoshta. And he's at the market. He's got a couple of big cases that he's carrying, one in each arm. He's walking quickly. You see there's a little bit of smoke stain on the top of his forehead. It's Kanan, man. This is what he does. He gets the job done.
Yeah.
Very public.
That's not the way I like to do things. So
this market is not far from the spaceport, by the way, right? So when spaceport comes in, they drop off stuff, and a lot of the foods and goods and services are sold here at the market. And it looks like he's trying to make his way towards the spaceport.
So I want to kind of sneak up behind him and maybe just put a firm hand on his shoulder or upper arm, right?
Mm-hmm.
We meet again, old friend.
Yeah, he turns to sees you and he's like, yep, we meet again. What's up, Venus?
No sudden moves, Kanan. How's Huli?
I haven't seen Huli in a while. I don't know what you're talking about, man. Is he okay?
I'm not someone that you want to trifle with, Kanan. I don't have very many friends. I certainly don't count you among them. But Huli is one that I do. So I'd like the truth from you. In fact, I think I would like to get the truth out of him.
I think you should. Roll with hustle.
Okay. My hustle is not great.
No. You're more savage than hustling.
Flat. 7.
Okay. On a hit, you clear stress, and you can remove one of his options.
Only one. I will say that he cannot confuse me with falsehoods.
Okay, he says. I don't know what to tell you, man. I don't know what to tell you. Just listen, you wanna cut? Just pretend you never saw me.
I tried to tell you last time, Kanan. It's not about the money.
Okay. He drops the case. Both hands up. You're loyal to Arashine. That's what you care about. Right? So, you let me go. Arashine doesn't get burned. Right? This is just some credits. It's just some stuff that I can move later. No one's going to trace it back to you. You know that. You know that. This gives me a jump start on a different life. Gets me out of here. But here's the deal. You let me go. I'll tell you something that'll make Arashine really mad, but then really happy because she'll know the truth.
I'm listening.
I need your word. Give me your word. You let me go. And I'll tell you something that's going to hurt Arashine real bad. But she needs to know.
I'll pick up one of these cases, right? And kind of push it against his chest. I'll say, you have my word. Quite frankly, I'd rather not have to ever see you again anyway.
Cool. And so I understand, are you basically saying you only get half of these two cases, or are you just using that as a prop? I'm just trying to
it's just a prop, yeah.
Okay,
he could have both, yeah.
Right. He seems actually comfortable having this case because shooting through a case with a bunch of spice in it is difficult. So he's like, good. The Yana girl and Zashta, they're hooking up. They got a kid. She's going to use it against Arashine. Get credits, get money, get favors, all that. It's the truth, man. And now you've got it. Arashine's going to be real happy with you in the long run. So let me go. Yeah, I'm out of here. He turns, he picks up the other case. He's ready to take off running.
I think in a very quick, subtle, graceful movement, even in public, it's a sort of almost like a wave.
Mm-hmm.
I think I just slash his cheek a little bit, right, with a knife.
Nice.
To match this same scar I have on my face from our last interaction. This is a smooth movement of pull the knife out.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I totally see it.
Yeah.
He winces though. He doesn't take that wound like you did. Trying to hold the blood.
Then I'll kind of
you gave your word.
Puts a gentle hand on his cheek or whatever, and it's never forget about me, Kanan.
He's got blood on his hand from when he rubbed it. He steps back. Yeah, like I could. Like I ever could. Would remember you in my nightmares. Turns and starts walking away really quickly.
Yeah. And I just say under my breath as he's leaving, next time I see you, it'll be your throat.
Nice. So we cut back to the drug lab. Okay, so let's refresh. The last move that we had from Solari was justify your behavior, right?
You had to cool down Yuri.
Yeah.
Or
All right.
Tanis.
Yep, you calmed down Tanis, and you kind of succeeded, and the Karakaba backed you up, and Tanis is like, fine, let's just see what we can find out. Come on, let's look for clues. Like you said, there's got to be some ways we can trace it back and see who's here. Look for prints, and she gets out a scanner, and they start trying to look for stuff. It's entirely possible, because you don't know if Kanan did any like cleaning. In fact, it looks like Kanan may have tried to make sure that this goes back on Arashine so that he can get out.
Oh. Oh, well, that's not good. Oh, that's not good for me, because Arashine knows stuff about me.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's yeah, I think if I'll look for clues, and I'll make sure to tell the partner to like cover some other section. Would I know enough about the operations to know where it's most likely to find clues, like where the actual cooking happened?
I think you know this pretty intimately, right? I don't think Arashine's hidden any aspect of her organization from you. Plus, I also think that's kind of interesting for you to know enough to use the angles. So,
yeah, because if anything, like I'm thinking right now, the last thing I need is I was hoping there'd just be a I was hoping for more certainly I was hoping for a more clean extraction, right? But if they can trace this to Arashine, and they can go to Arashine, then Arashine can finger me, which I don't want to do. What happens? So if I find any clues, I'd like to kind of like erase them, or at least basically obscure them, or try to make sure things don't go back that
sweet.
far.
So yeah, it looks like that there's some like comm links that are around, a few scattered things that can be easily traced. So you're going to need to get rid of that evidence. I think doing so is you're gonna have to push your luck here.
Sure. I'm already pushing my luck just still being here.
Yeah.
So let's see what happens. All right. I rolled a 7, and pushing my luck is a
grit, and I think your grit's flat.
It's a +1, so
Right, so
that'll be an 8.
On a 7 to 9, things don't work out quite like you'd hoped.
Oops.
So you're going through everything, and you grab the comm links, and there's a couple of blasters that look pretty identifiable. And you're able to do it when Tanis and Miri are both working on cross-referencing some information, and maybe they have to deal with a bit of the fire, right? But Kara sees it.
Oh.
And she doesn't say anything right away. But then she says, hey, we should check the perimeter. Come on.
Okay, I'll go with her. Do I notice that she noticed?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll kind of like, okay, yeah, let's do that. Like I know something, like I know something's going down, and I follow her.
Cool. You guys walk for a little bit, and she says, Tanis will jump to the wrong conclusion. I just need to understand. What are you doing? Because it looks real bad.
Oh, right. So, trying to read. Yeah, from what I'm reading of Kira, I don't know this right now, but the way I'm going to go is that she's kind of earnest, but not like super ambitious. At least, as far as I know, it could be totally wrong,
she's. And if you want to size her up, that's not a bad idea.
Oh yeah, we haven't done that move, have we?
We haven't. We size someone, roll with savagery.
Roll with savagery. Okay.
Oh, you're not great at that though.
That's all right. It'll be kind of funny if I fail and like I think she's a threat when she isn't. I think that'll be kind of hilarious. So savagery, that's a -1. So let's see what happens. Rolling. Oh yeah, I got a 5.
Oh,
yep.
Man. There we go.
Yep.
There's the Solari. That's what we expected from our -1.
So I miss. I know what happens on miss.
Oh, good question. Good question. So try to size her up, and she says, Are they right about you? Are you as bad as your brother?
I'm sorry, what was the last
Are you
part?
as bad as your brother?
Sometimes I have to get bad because of my brother. It's a miss basically that I have to. Did I do a misread of her, or do I just basically?
You can ask a question.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, there are questions. I guess. I guess the question would be how could I get her? And again, I understand this is a misfire, so I'll probably get the wrong answer. But I was trying to figure out how could I get her to go along, to not blow it for me.
Listen, you're working from the wrong person. Whoever it is that leads the White Moons, they're small potatoes.
Really, who's the big potato?
Wow. Black Suns. So, I look the other way. From now on, you help me take care of the White Moons. And then whatever deal they have for you can roll to them. Okay?
Glad to see you got my back, partner. I get a sense that she's about to become the dominant dominant half of this partnership. Am I reading that correctly?
Yeah.
I guess I better brush up on my coffee fetching skills.
Cool. So we'll cut away from that to our dinner party. The negotiations conclude. The Pike Syndicate has formed up an alliance with the White Moons. You get, like, they are definitely offering heavy arms, and they want to funnel drugs through your kitchen, which isn't really a possibility right now, but I'm sure you'll build a new one and get a new cook. But yeah, what they want to do is split profits, not 50-50, but based on the amount of outlay of capital. It's a pretty equitable arrangement, but they really want to be as aggressive against the Black Suns as possible. Core is pretty hardcore about, he wants to use this drug money to start buying more and more access to the CSF to build up his own security force so that they can start hitting the Black Sun. What is it that you're particularly driving for in this arrangement, Russia?
I think that I'm mostly focused on them sharing the cost of $750 million of credits, so that we can get this security force to deal with the Black Suns. So I'm mostly securing an ally who will also shake down some credits toward purchase of the security force. And then, they pay me a cut, and I make sure that they can have access to the spaceport.
Good. Things are going swimmingly between the two of you. Cord is singularly devoted to making sure that the Black Sun's hurt, and the Pike Syndicate is his back for now, and using drugs to get more credits to get more arms and armaments to hurt the Black Suns more is his primary goal. So opening up the spaceport, paying you some credits so that you get this Merc company going, those are all on the table as far as he's concerned. Well, Steve, are you away?
No, I'm here.
Cool. So we're going to swing out to the garden. And Chima says, I think that you do Arashine, Minnie, you do her service. And I think that you help to take off the edge of her. This black mark, though, this thing with Yana is a weakness and will hurt you both. I have a possible solution.
I'm listening.
The boy, how much do you care for him?
As I said inside, family is everything. He is my son. I think I want to size her up.
I think you should.
Because, you know, I don't have enough bad stats to roll, so... Yeah, savagery. That is a 6.
So I'm going to ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
How can you get her to basically take Yana and Umo away so that they are off the board and no longer threaten your relationship with Arashine?
Yana, he's willing to let go. Primarily, you know, his interest in her was through Umo, you know, frankly. And by let go, he means, you know, not dead, but, you know, anywhere but around here is okay. Umo, he would want to make sure that Umo's cared for somewhere, you know, fostered somewhere, you know, not in a bad place, you know, in a bad position.
If you will allow me, Chima says, I will take Umo away from this place where he can be raised comfortably with a tutor. He will still be on Coruscant on the surface. You will be able to visit him from time to time.
Would he be free?
Is anyone free?
Like, you know, he just nods, you know, really, really quietly. Like, that would be best for the family.
She reaches her hand out to your shoulder and squeezes it. And it's like this warm squeeze, almost like spouse to spouse. It will free you. She was bad for you and your son. You've made the right choice.
Like, you know, just under breath, you know, for the family.
Cool. So Core and Arashine come out to the garden. Imagine it's like this kind of open up to some of the air, but they've got air purifiers, right? So you can't smell the smog and the soot that come from the lower parts of 1313. And Kor laughs a bit. And he has a little like hookah thing that one of his guys is carrying beside, and he takes a couple of smokes. Oh yeah, what's the desserts that you have for everybody here?
I'll make you an apple pie with beebleberry ice cream and rava to drink.
This is the best. Oh, you have this stuff all written down. It's so cool.
Of course.
So cool. So cool. Awesome. Cool. So
I think as these courses progress, Arash is probably coming into grips with how much I spent on this dinner party. But
it worked pretty. That said, Arashine spent even more on an appetizer. Put those appetizers with blaster carbines. Cool. I think it'd be cool if we hear from Venus, because you've did your thing. What do you do once you have completed your deal with Kanan?
I am waiting outside of the burnt husk of the spare droid parts shop. I'm like leaning on my speeder bike, waiting to confront the ISB agents when they leave.
Oh, well, sure enough. Kara, that brand new green partner of Rosmer and Rosmer come around. They come out first. They actually come from around the building. Rosmer Solari, you see none other than Venus waiting. Oh, you're muted, Michael.
Right. So I see that. And I think at that point I might. I think what do I do? My first good instinct might be he might be panicked and just take a shot at him. Yeah,
you want to do that? Turn to violence.
I think that's what happens. I know, because are the others are still here, right?
They're inside. They're still investigating. It's just you and Kara. When you come around, and you see Venus.
Yeah, I think at this point that's all I can do. I think now that I'm busted, I was hoping to lay low before the end game, in time for the end game to play out, but clearly that's not going to happen. So yeah, although I'm probably going to get killed, that's what I do.
I love it. Return to violence. Roll with savagery.
Sure. My vicious -1. Okay, well I got an 8.
Nice. On a 7 to 9, you choose 2.
Possibility to interrupt for someone, maybe.
Pardon?
Interfere, you mean?
Oh yeah, you could interfere. When you help her interfere after a PC is roll, wager stress and roll. Oh yeah. So you see him going for his blaster, Venus.
Oh yeah. I didn't know I could do that.
I'm glad that Pavel pointed out rules that I should be emceeing. Thank you.
Yeah, well, everything kind of slows down, right? And we go into bullet time or whatever, right?
Right. Laser time.
Yeah, laser time. I think that she was screwing on the sound suppressor on her blaster, and when she sees you pull out your gun, right, your blaster pistol or whatever, I think I'm gonna swing around and shoot towards you, just kind of trying to push you into cover. I think it's like a Han Solo and Greedo kind of situation, right? Of just exchanging fire.
Okay. So if you are,
I mean, you'll shoot first, but
well, this is a way
Trademark.
We get the
DVD. Shot first.
We get the DVD, and then we may have some argument.
right. And I'll wager 2 stress.
Yeah, I'll take me down to a fail.
Yeah, it will.
If I succeed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so rolling +2. That is an 11.
Ooh. Oh yeah.
Wow. On a 10 plus, you don't mark that stress.
Mm.
Nice.
And you give a -2, so that 8 goes down to a 6.
Yep.
Which means that you fire the blaster pistol and miss, and Venus fires and misses you, and the two of you and Kara, will need to take cover. And the other 2 ISB agents are going to try to come out at this point too, because as far as they know,
Ooh, I just remembered. Okay.
yeah, as far as they know, they're shots fired on their fellow agent, who they think might be a little dirty, but once the blasters come out, they'll be on your side. Venus, you can take off, or you can continue this fight. What do you want to do, Venus? You've got a moment. You've made them take cover.
I'm going to call out. I'll say, now, Rosmer, you're a survivor.
Oh, he's gonna
Remember,
Uh,
don't do anything stupid.
Yeah, I don't. Ooh, I don't. I'm trying to think of. Play this out. As far as I know, I think I'm still playing under the assumption that Kanan did get the money away and that he is still in hiding, and that I do still have a gift package waiting for me. So I still think that there's a way out of this nonsense, foolishly. So what I'll do is I will, unless I've missed my logic, but yeah. Anyway, well, the logic has nothing to do with this. I'll shout out. With that in mind, I'll shout out to the other cops, the other bureau agents on the inside, that it's the slave who took my arm off. And try to get them on my side.
Man!
That just occurred to me. And hopefully this gets resolved before they realize what bullshit this is. What poodoo I'm spewing right now.
I love
that's
it.
The only thing, yeah. So that's what he does
I think
next.
you try to pressure they want to back you up, but I think you need to pressure them to actually put themselves in complete opposition, at risk against the assassin. So let's see you pressure someone,
sure,
for these guys to come out firing on Venus.
Okay, let's see what happens here. That's a pressure. That's a hustle thing. All right.
Yeah, it is. Roll with hustle.
Oh boy. Well, that's a 7.
Okay.
I would like.
Yep.
Would like to interfere?
Yeah, I'm going to call out and say, "Oh, that's a very polite way of paying back someone who saved your life."
How much stress are you wagering?
I'll wager another 2.
Okay, cool. Let's see how this goes.
Ooh, I only got a 6 though.
Oh man. Okay, on a miss, you mark the stress you wagered and prepare for the worst. Cool. So you say that, and that's when Tanis pops out with her blaster and she fires. It's a great shot. This girl's a dead aim, and you get carking shocked.
Surprisingly adept for a little newbie ISB agent, right?
Oh no! Sorry, this is
Tanis.
So this is the main opposite, like the person who thinks that he's dirty.
Oh, okay, yeah. I was gonna say I was alluding to the fact that she was also crooked, but this is the one who's not.
Tanis is actually not crooked that we know of right now.
Right.
Okay. I mean, we're all a little crooked. Okay. Cooking shot. I have body armor. It's a blaster pistol, right? It's a small weapon.
It is a blaster pistol.
But they're not an amateur, so it's +2.
All right.
Should I take a special move for getting shot?
I don't know. You should definitely check that before you roll these dice.
Because I thought I took like a.
You've got.
I thought I might have leveled up and taken the move, but I don't think I did.
Banthas in a blanket, stalk. I think you upped savagery.
Right. That's what I did. Well, it's just a 6 then.
Okay. So on a miss, you're pretty much finished, Bendejo.
Oh,
The MC will tell you when you go and how it happened. You get shot in the chest, and it hurts, and it was not on stun. You've got minutes before you're done. You're right by that speeder bike. What do you do?
That's what I get for trying to save a life instead of just taking it. I want to go on a full-on, guns blazing, berserker, last breath shooting spree here.
Okay, so I'm putting this on the table. We have Tanis and Miri, the 2 ISB agents who are inside the door of the droid repair shop. We have Kara, who is with Rosmer. You can take one of them down, your choice.
Oh.
Or you can shoot Rosmer and he has to be karking shot. He has to roll the when you're karking shot. Do you want me to cut away for you? Give you a moment to ponder? All right, we cut away. I just recognize you're wearing a Gauntlet shirt, by the way.
It's ripped.
It's nice. It looks nice.
This one is definitely like falling apart, so I got to get a new one. But
cool. So let's cut away to our the families that have come up with their alliance. Chima has secured your permission to help with Umo. I think that you're going to get a message from Bosk is there, Arashine.
Yeah, like a voice message, a text message. What does it read?
Oh, well, you sent Bosk away, but I imagine he was still like outside. You told him, so he sticks his head, like he appears at the garden, at the periphery of the garden, waving his big gigantic transition hand. Like, can't see expressions on a transition, but like he's trying to get your attention slightly frantically.
Yeah. Please excuse me for a moment. I need to go and attend to a small business. I'll be back for the second round of the ice creams. And I will excuse myself and walk to ask Bosk. Yeah? What is it?
He turns on a comm link and you hear basically the Coruscant security force chatter as they are reporting shots fired. They're giving the address, and it is where your cook works, and you hear agents down, agents under fire, we need backup, and they just lets it play. What do we do, boss?
Well, if they found one of our labs, we can have it tracked back to us. Obviously, Venus may be there. She might need some help. Yeah, take those nice rookies and make sure that the building is properly leveled and that no evidence against us can be found. Hopefully before the CSF arrives, and I'll call someone to stall the CSF.
Okay, I think you're doing some henchman management here.
Yes, I'm doing this. However, the big question remains because I don't think it's going to be ambush or kidnapping, so no bonus for me. But I will roll my face. Russia. Yeah, my henchman, I rolled 11.
Nice.
Unless I think since Rosmer is there, he could interfere, or someone else. I don't know.
That's true. Does Rosmer want to interfere with this? From the grave?
Oh, right. I'm sorry. I missed what you're trying to get your minions to do.
I'm sending my squad to clear the scene up and don't leave any evidence.
No, I'm fine. I'm going to let the fates decide this one.
Cool. So, well, on the 10+, it means all three. So they keep their wits and focus, they minimize incriminating evidence, and they avoid collateral damage. So if they find anyone there, it's gonna be a good shootout.
The hit squad's coming.
Yeah, and I guess I would also need to, because we never named them, but I also have 1 or 2 corrupt CSF, greedy, informed. I suppose I give one of them a call, and just yeah. I don't think you have any named.
No,
CSF.
but let's name one right now. I think that it will be an Iktachi named Farlam Zas.
Yeah. So I call. I call like Farlim Zas. Agent Zas.
Russian A.
I would be greatly in your favor if you could make the CSF response to the latest agent call for backup arrive with a few minutes delay. Hard to say. Maybe they need to pack up some more gear. Maybe they need to be first instructed how to approach the problem. I leave this up to your discretion. A couple of minutes should be sufficed.
It will be done.
Thank you, Agent. A pleasure working with you.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, and there's a point out in chat here that I definitely want to see on screen. There is a move called Osamama that Zoshta has. You've definitely put your family's needs above your own. So please roll with face on Osamama. There's a lot of risk in this.
9.
Move. A 9, okay.
So on a 9. Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Someone knows my sacrifice and they take +1 for it against me. I mean, obviously Chima. But
yeah, it's Chima. We'll go with the obvious one on that one.
Okay.
This deep in the game, that makes the total sense. Good. So yeah, you reach out to your CSF person. You sent Bosk and his guys out. It does strip you a little bit lean as far as protection here at your estate. But you still have your staff and yourself, and Z is here as well. Although he didn't participate in the meal, of course, he's just hovering around. And so you come back out to the pikes, and Kor is eating a bit of ice cream and smoking from his hookah. He's pretty happy, but it seems like he's kind of done with business and more just being chatty. He doesn't seem to know that there's a lot of trouble going on in 1313 right now, and just wants to sit on a papasan chair and talk story. What do you do, Arashine?
Is everything well here?
Yes. No, just a minor stuff to be taken care of. Nothing really major. Oh my god, I completely forgot what they say about do I have enough to follow up on the lead about the cantina? I'm not sure if I have enough to follow this lead.
I'm sorry, what do you need?
Yeah, I'm wondering if I have enough, if they said enough strange things around me for me to be suspicious about what they were talking about cantina and the stuff on the cantina.
Oh, for the heavy bantha?
Yeah. Because I'm trying to,
that session, I mean, if you want to push things a little bit, that could be fun. Force Zoshta to justify.
Yeah. So I just say, so now that we have business out of the way, I was wondering because you seem to know a lot about our little business, Happy Banta, and you mentioned something about knowing the crew and that this unfortunate accident. Do you know anyone there in particular from the crew?
Ooh, who are you asking? I assume you're asking Core, right? Because that's the main person you've been speaking with.
Yeah,
Cool.
I think I'm like mostly interacting with the core over here.
All right. So then I think you should try to get the truth out of him.
Sure.
Roll with hustle.
And is he asking specifically about the staff of the Happy Bantha?
Yes.
Then I think I'll be trying to interfere.
It's a 13.
Crap!
I rolled
or not.
box cards. Yes, 2 6s is box cards. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. That's so on 10 plus pick 2.
They can't stonewall me with silence. I think it'll be interesting. They can't mislead me with the truth.
Rashane, of course I did research, and the Happy Bantha on the books is yours as well as your husband's. So I would know as much as I could about the Happy Bantha. It is not a bad little cantina.
Cool. And I think in particular you.
Well, your Mon Calamari cook has a pretty heavy record, but I'm sure that you're aware of that. And the Umbaran female is an off-worlder. Possibly a threat to you there, but just an Umbaran dancer.
Yeah, I'm looking at that. She's still working there?
Yes.
Like we had discussed how valuable she was to the business. But if you think it's best, maybe we should let her go. And I look at Chima. I'm like, I'll take care of it tomorrow.
Yes. Now that the things have cooled down, we will not cause a scene, and hopefully she will not cause a scene like last time. Yes, that's a very good. I'm really glad, my lovely husband, how you are managing this business.
Like anything to help support the family's business.
Of course. Let's continue with the last of the desserts before we have to call off this this nice cocktail party, as we all have businesses to attend to.
And Core agrees. Here, and he takes another puff of his hookah. He's not aware of some of this going on back and forth here, it seems. And he didn't tell any lies that you could tell, but maybe he did. If he did, he confused you with him. So, hey, there you go. So we cut away to Vadis's decision. Who gets shot?
So, what does Kara do right before I kill her?
Oh, shit. Ooh. Oh, that's great. Cool. So I see Kara as she's not really going to put herself significantly at risk here. So you're fighting off 4 of them, and Tanis and Miri, they're like one comes out and the other comes out from the doorway, and they're firing on you, but there's still all these flames that are going, smoke that's going on. And Kara, there's a moment where she keeps trying to come out about the same time as Rosmer, trying to push Rosmer to be the main body shield. but she hesitates for just a moment after a shot, and you catch her open. Maybe you're going for Rosmer, maybe you're going for her. How do you kill her?
Yeah. So like I'm envisioning the scene, right? And there's sort of like this squarish building, and they're kind of in the alley, and I've like rolled away from the front entrance. I think that like Rosmer, like you see her like lean out and then like get like yanked like away from the wall. And you probably hear like some sort of feminine Wilhelm scream of sorts, you know. And then like gurgling, right? Like
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah. Kara drops to the ground. Dead.
And I want to like swing around the corner and like grab you by like your uniform and like push you up against the wall. And like you can see like I'm near death, right? I've got like this like haunted look in my eyes. I've got you up against the wall, and I'm like, why? What is it that pushes you to keep on living? And I'll like push you against the wall, right? But like I don't have a weapon in my hand, so it's just like I don't know if you necessarily feel it in danger right now.
Do you shoot her again?
If not physical danger, I certainly feel in plenty of danger.
So what do? You've got Venus. She's dying. You could shoot her. You could shove her off and let her die on her back. You could run away.
Yeah, I think given that she's still able to talk, I think I might be best to just give one final shot before she says anything else. So yeah, I think I do just like give that final gut shot. You know, it might almost be like a subconscious thing because I'm sure I'm pretty overwhelmed by the situation, but I think that's what happens.
We see the flash of red from the blaster that's going off between you. Plows right through you, Venus, and you fall to the ground.
Slump to my knees, but I'm tougher than you think. So I get one final word.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I say, I think I'm just like holding onto your knees at this point almost because like I just can't hold myself up anymore. I say, I loved her. She never saw that. And now that worm is going to ruin her. I loved her.
Yes. Woo. Oh, it's so good.
Interesting.
Nice. So Miri and Tanis come around. They see dead Kara. They see that you've shot Venus, and it looks like you're in the clear. What do you do? What do you say, Roz? We're like, as we will probably be bringing this particular scene to an end, but what is it you say to Tanis and Miri?
I just say that this is the skull that took my arm, and looks like I got my payback. Actually, no, he does say that. I realized the correct thing would have been the human thing, so to speak, would have been to show some remorse for my lost partner, but this is Ross we were talking about. So I think the first thing he does is he just starts immediately like throwing up some kind of like defense / excuse for why he did what he did, as why he opened fire on this being, and then he like almost like realizes, oh wait, this isn't what I'm supposed to be doing, and then he like tends to Kira, checks the just like half-heartedly checks the pulse just to make sure. Of course, everyone knows that she's already dead, that sort of thing.
Dead. Awesome. Yeah. Cool. And then Tanis and Miri are there, and Tanis says, I guess I read you wrong.
Yeah, well, And then I think it would be really funny is I think I dropped some line about how all us 13ers aren't street scum,
Nice,
But in
nice. I
fact,
love that.
When in fact he's probably amongst the cream of the crop when it comes to the scum.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
you say that, and we get a shot of Tanis where she's like grudging respect for you, having lost a partner, a bit of sorrow. And then the camera just pans over the dead eyes of Venus looking up to a sky that isn't there. And as we're heading near the end of our 3-shot here, I think the one scene I'd like to throw in is it's like the next day, and we see the happy bantha, and we see Zoshta come in and asking around. It's like music's going on, music's starting to swell. It's a little John Williams-esque. It's like one of his proteges, right? So it's not actually John Williams. We can't afford that, but it's like John Williams-esque. And you can tell that you're asking around, and there's no Yana, and then you head in the speeder car to where Yana's flat is, and you see that there are CSF barriers around, and they're carrying out a body. Just one body, but a body, and it's the body of Yana. She was killed in the night. And I unless people have specific epilogues, I think that might be where we bring things to a close.
I like it. It's nice and dark.
Good. Awesome. So yeah, that was Hutt Cartel. I'd like to take a 2-minute bio break, and then we can do Roses and Thorns. And we can talk about the system. We can talk about our story, all that good stuff. So we'll see you guys in a couple minutes.
Okay.
I can do.
I have to say I'm very bummed out that Venus got killed. For all the characters I wanted to survive, I think she was at the top of the list.
Yeah, I knew. I was at the very bottom of every list.
I thought it was super fun.
First one to kill, first one to die.
Yeah, I was expecting to be the first one to bite it too.
I almost want like all of my characters to die at the end of a series.
Well, happy to oblige.
I know one famous bounty hunter who was very well at fighting and still lives.
Yeah, well, glad Zudo never died at the end because it was fun watching him go through multiple.
He's been through a lot. Yeah, he was worth it. No, it was really cool, and it's the whole live by the sword, die by the sword, and like I really loved tying up all these loose ends for Rosper so that he could continue being kind of a slime ball. Your Black Sun lady got killed, and you kind of got off scot-free, which is always very noir. So I was.
Yeah, that was pretty great. I was super happy when you chose. For a moment, I'm like, I didn't want to say it, but I was like, if Kara dies, he gets out pretty well. Oh, it was fun.
I was totally thinking that we see Rosmer behind the corner, just like calling Venus and says, "Hey, I have a job for you. Just take my partner out." I thought that this will be like how it will be framed.
Yeah, in fact, even when I was debating how Rosmer was going to react at the split second of seeing Venus, I thought that logically, if I had to kill someone, it should be the person I really actively dislike as opposed to the person I'm just like creeped out by. And I saw the ways I thought of all the ways I could still, even in this position, still make myself useful to Orashta. But then I thought, well, if he's operating under the assumption that his brother did what he was supposed to, and they've got that they're sitting on the golden egg still, then he went for the gusto, and this is what happened. He thought he was going to be able to he shot for the moon and thought he was going to be able to get out of the scene entirely, but it didn't work out that way. It seems like he just got away, right? Am I correct in assuming?
Yeah, I think I did it too early. So we should discuss that. What do you think? Do you think, maybe we'll put it to a vote, did Kanan leave his brother behind and just take off for the money? Or do we see the scene at like the post-credit sequence where Rosmer takes off and beats with his brother, and the two of them have the millions of credits worth of drugs that they can sell, but they are always on the run?
I vote for he takes off.
Cool. What is the vote from Steve?
I vote he takes off.
Ooh, all right. Then what about Pavel?
I have no idea.
You have no idea. All right, and then Michael Barford, what's your vote?
See you later, alligator. All
right, there we go. Majority rules. That is the post-credit sequence. Is him on I'm imagining like this monorail type thing. He gets on, Rosmer gets on, and then all of a sudden he's pulling off his ISB uniform, and then puts it in a bag, and then he goes into another car, and there's his brother waiting for him. And you guys take off. That sounds great.
Oh, I did get away with it?
Yeah, why not?
Oh, okay.
Sounds fun.
I voted for. Okay. All right.
Oh, well, did I misunderstand? I
voted for he ditches me. At least that was my vote, because I was thinking, unless I'm
that's what I was voting for too. Yeah.
Oh, I'm an idiot. I totally misunderstood the votes. Oh, yeah, I'm the worst GM. All right, there you go. And there's no Kanan. You just thought he was supposed to be Kanan. And there's a note, and he says, "Sorry, bro. You can't on the flip.
I owe you one escape route."
I just always misunderstood what people were voting. I'm such a dummy.
Oh, that's fine. I just always envision Kanan as someone who's always ultimately, with all the trouble he's always getting into, ultimately just about himself. And I think he caved into that impulse one last time.
I'm good with that. That sounds fun. Cool. So let's do Roses and Thorns. We'll start with Thorns. Steve.
Almost lost part of my desk. don't think I have many. I think we got to see most of the moves in play. Yeah, I think we had. Although we didn't flee from Los Federales.
Oh gosh.
So,
missed opportunity.
I mean, I think there was a surprisingly, I guess for a game that's intrinsically about drugs, we had surprisingly few drugs in play. You know, obviously we were playing a little bit, I think, more the, you know, telenovela route of things and, you know, our conflicts with each other and, you know, the gang. But I guess I would have liked to seen maybe the, you know, the business be a little more front and center.
Yeah, I actually tried to specifically bring it in because I saw such a lack of
and I thought what you did with the cook was great, you know, and focusing on that.
But yeah, I recognize that as a thing, and that was some feedback that I tried to correct course, but you're right. We should have done a better job from the outset of saying, you know, how is it that this stuff works and how does this drug trade go? It was very at a distance. It was like it
was part of the business,
like a CW high school. You know, it's like a CW high school where they're not actually going to class. They're always hanging out afterwards and being catty to each other. Any other thorns?
No, I enjoyed.
Pavel, what thorns did you
have? I didn't have much to react to today. Like Pike just came when they wanted a deal. We made a deal. That's it. No pressure. Business somehow happened. The deal went so easy that we didn't even roll for it. And then I'm not sure if I really am in favor of such a very long scenes, because practically I was entire session in like one scene, and it's like hard to hit the keys because the scene has a certain tone. If nobody is like doing something, it's very hard to hit the keys of people involved, because that very much depends from the mood of the scene. Wait, I'm reading what I wrote. I think Dozer was very far away from us this session. Like, unless for the shootout, we had like no chance to interact with him. Maybe it was better if the ISB got a hint of these negotiations and then just like came in and we had like a big shootout in the penthouse, because he was there. I was stuck in the scene. I like didn't go there, so. Luckily, Venus goes, so there was some interaction, but he was too far away. I wrote unequal misses because, like, those are missed, and he took cover. Venus missed, and he got shot at, and that's a super hard move, because the game says, "Yeah, don't pull this move unless you are ready for someone to die," and so it happened. So okay. I was like hoping that maybe like those are misses on this like his engagement, and then what was my guy Bosk just happens to be there with a couple of men, and he joins the fight or something like this.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
I was completely lost about the deal between Pike Lady and Zoshta. Was it a help? Was it a blackmail? What for? Why? I totally thought it would be like a blackmail or something, like do this for us, like I don't know, assassinate Arasha in her sleep, or we will tell her about your secret romance. But it was like, hey, we'll take your kid away and a happy ending. And unless I didn't
I would arguably say if that's happy or not, you know. Because they did take away his, both his mistress and his son.
Yeah, I'm sorry it wasn't clear, but my thinking was she plays a little bit more of the long game. Chema's a spouse as well, and she's basically kidnapped his kid to have leverage over him, and also killed his lover to show we mean business, and I'll do for you what you can't do for yourself, because you said it was okay.
So they're like, wanted to help me, but not really sure why. At least I think it helped me, because then my spouse is like free of her trouble. Like, I'm, as a player, I'm even confused about the reasoning for Pikes for making this deal.
Huh. Okay.
And I also know down that far too many people knew about Zoshta's secret for him rolling 10 plus at the beginning of the session.
Well, I think that was just a result of my fail.
Yeah.
Just resulting in a hard move.
But you're right. For someone who between sessions did so well, everyone else knew the secret it was kind of a cheap move on my part. I'll cop to that.
Yeah, it's like totally cool if they like get
that was third session motivated. Like that was a third of 3 sessions. I'm going to put the screws to things, even if the die roll at the beginning of the session didn't necessarily set that tone. I cop to that.
Yeah, that's it for me.
Cool. Thank you, Paul. And Dozer, what thorns did you have?
All right, well, I already expressed my regret at getting Venus killed off, because I really like that character. The other thorn I'd have, it's really more of a not so much a real negative thing, but maybe a missed opportunity. The time frame of this adventure, you said it was set between episodes 4 and 5, and something that occurred to me that would have been really fun to play out would have been just the fact that, if you imagine what the galactic mindset would have been, this would have been like fresh off the destruction of the Death Star.
Mm-hmm.
And if our own United States history has taught us, after some big traumatic sneak attack, I mean, people just go completely bonkers. And I thought we could have played it out where there's this kind of like overwhelming sense of paranoia over a rebel insurgency, like people thinking there are rebels behind every corner after they pulled off that crazy move.
That is definitely a missed opportunity. That would have been a really cool aspect to bring in.
Yeah, and I wish I had thought about that earlier too, because especially
me too. I wish you thought about that. Come on, you're genius at this now. But
if you ever play the scenario again, that may be something to keep in mind. And just imagine what chaos Rosmer could have wrecked if he had the war on rebels on his side. But that's the only thing I could think of as far as thorns are concerned.
That's a really cool suggestion, though. Thank you. Good. And then Michael Barford.
The rebels hate our freedom. Yeah, no, I don't really have any thorns in particular.
Okay. Then I'll throw in a thorn, and then we'll circle back to you, Michael Barford. This game, so it's a thorn that transitions to a rose in a way. Like, I had trouble finding my footing with this game. I feel like it took until the last half of this session before things really, to me, started to fire again. And so that's a bit of a thorn on me, and trying to understand how I can tonally push Cartel into the Hutt Cartel and Star Wars space. I felt like there are probably some things that we communicate within our normal everyday society and expectations and culture and money and all that kind of stuff that is a little more removed in a Star Wars venue. The one move of, oh, well, he'll take the deal, but he's going to ask for 20% more. Well, there's no underpinning system for Cartel for money. What the fuck does that even mean? 20% more of fake thing is just fake thing plus 20%. Why does that matter? And I've realized that from the moment of 500,000 credits, 250 million credits. What does that even mean? It just says you have thousands of credits on hand. Okay, so what? So he's going to ask for 750,000. And the only thing I thought was, and that means you have to really push your production. So this kitchen where your cook is working is that much more important so that you can still afford these guys, which I guess maybe that's what in the expanded version of Cartel would say. It's okay, money is just a way to drive other plots forward. But I'm so ingrained with conventional gaming thought of I need economic system. How many million is this fucking piece of cyberware? That's the shit that goes in my head, right? And whenever you talk money, I want money as a number in the game that's integrated. and that's not what PBTA is about, and I don't think that's at all what Cartel is about. So that's the war that happens in my head every time I work in a game that abstracts money but says money. Right? Like, but it's money. But no, it's money. It's money. It's money. It's a die roll. It's loot. That's how I have to think of it. So I think we worked our way past it, but it was a stumbling block for me. It's like, one of these options is 20% times X, and X means meaningless. But sorry, I'm rambling at this point. But I'll transition to one rose I want to throw out to kick us off. I felt like the second half of the session, especially vis-a-vis Rosmer and Venus, that was pretty hot. I really enjoyed some of the interaction with Chema and Zoshta. So those are pretty good. And I agree with you, Pavel, all of your thorns. So I don't feel like I really hit my stride with Arashine. So yeah, apologies for that. But now we're into roses. So I won't castigate myself any further. And Michael Barford, what roses did you have from the session?
Sure. Well, this was a really great session. I enjoyed it a lot. I thought it was an excellent finale for the 3 sessions for sure. I really think we got a lot of the loose threads kind of brought onto the table, which is cool. One rose in particular I wanted to give you, Rich. I kind of mentioned this in the chat earlier, but I saw right off the bat that you were taking the feedback from Roses and Thorns from session 2, and you were incorporating that right away into the start of session 3, and that's always really cool to see when a GM is like really interested in hearing feedback and finding ways to improve. And I thought that it was really cool to be able to see Orasha engage with some of her actual moves of her playbook, which was cool. Especially, which can be tough for a more talking focused character as opposed to a more action focused character, because we're used to just free playing the dialogue and seeing where things go. I loved getting shot. I loved dying. I loved being able to give my last words to Rosmer. I really just dug how it kind of turned out to be this kind of interesting, I mean, kind of narco fiction, but at the very least noir, which I think maybe narco fiction probably kind of fits under that very wide umbrella. So it was poignant. It was fun. It had action. It had romance. So I dug it. I done dug it.
You go so noir. So you were dripping with noir. It was great. Dozer, what roses did you have?
I thought everyone played really well. Two things in particular stand out. One was the loving detail crafted to the multi-course meal. That was fun just seeing that creativity. Also, it was a nice way of kind of displaying, kind of a nice way of showing, what the struggle is all about for. In some way, that being that this like high respectable life that Zelda is crafted here, especially since so many of us came from very impoverished situations. So that was fun to follow the detailed course menu. And also I particularly liked, Michael, how I thought you were really good at giving out one-liners with a good amount of depth, like where you could read into the kind of hidden emotions that she normally keeps very close to her heart, and gives away only right before she dies. So that was fun to watch as well. I thought the game was run very well. Previous thorns aside, I think you did a good job of covering almost all the moves, which is really the best thing when you're trying to trying out a new game. The first thing you think about is like, what moves haven't we done yet? Because you want to get a chance, you want to give everyone a chance to play with their toys, and I feel like everyone got to do that to a good amount. So yeah, I really enjoyed this the game sessions and the setting, and hopefully I'll get to do it again sometime.
Cool, thank you, Michael. Pavel, what roses did you have?
Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Steve, for preparing this awesome menu for the cocktail party and for being a good spouse. It was really nice to see you like struggle with like questioning about this incident at the Banta and then making this uneasy deal. So it's also very nice that we had a space for a spouse playbook in this like usually very vile and brutal space of shooting blasters and explosions. It was nice that we had a space for spouse. It was nice to see Venus being played, cold-blooded mercenary who only wanted to kill stuff, but it was fun to watch. And yeah, it was nice to see Dozer floating in this like a web of lies and being slightly on top of this lies decisions until his partner like gave him a deal, and then I was like really curious. Will he like shoot her in the back right there, or will he call, "Hey Venus, I have like a deal"? I was like, really, whoa! How will he deal with this like being blackmailed himself? So I really enjoyed the session. I had a lot of fun.
Cool, thanks, Pavel. Last but not least, Steve.
For Rich, I wanted to reiterate the rose by hitting all the moves. I think the only one that I missed was on my side of, being able to take +1 when, keeping the family interests, in mind. But I think it's just I wasn't in necessarily the position to encourage Arasha in that way. I think it falls under the, number of the number of sessions we have and the number of types of scenes, obviously gets shortened. Arasha for being a good narco and managing to, pull out the alliance and, in addition to using, her hit squad multiple times. That was great. Venus for being just unequivocally badass, throughout the entire thing. I especially like the scene in the, Bantha where you're like, oh, I wait to, Zushta knocks it back before I, throw the knife, to spare him the, business side of things. And then Rosmer for managing to pull things through this last session, despite, obviously the great trials of the second session with, almost dying and, just failing like most of, the roles the second session. So to be able to, come out on top, still well liked, or at least not hated by your, police force. That was great to see.
It was really cool. I had a great time running the game for you guys. I appreciate your feedback and your willingness to give this thing a shot. Yeah, I think Cartel's a really great game, and I think Hutt Cartel has potential. I think there's some ways that I could kick it off differently going forward so that we could hit some of the fun stuff without a lot of the fluff to happen in the middle as I've stumbled along. So thank you guys for being very understanding with this. And with that, we'll bring our 3-shot of Hutt Cartel to an end. Thank you, gentlemen, so much for playing and being a part of this.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thanks,
all.
Rich.
Thank you all.